Jay.
No way.
Jay wants to go the whole thing.
I wanted to back up too on the second. Are you still going to be fighting?
Yes, we're fighting on May 2nd.
You're fighting?
Awesome.
I hear tell, I don't know if it's true, that my opponent may have won a title in Kentucky last week.
Who's your
Big
opponent?
deal.
It's a guy named Jason Nienheim.
Okay, I saw Jason fight in Metropolis.
And I'd have to almost have my notebook with me to tell you exactly. He agreed to meet me and see what I got left in this old body, so we'll see.
Well,
You know what? I'm not even familiar with which gym he's with. He fought in a couple of shows, and he fought Shannon Walsh, one of our fighters, down at Harris Casino in Metropolis.
he beat Shannon that night.
And yeah, Shannon did lose to him. And I wanted to make sure, that if I'm going to do this and get back in shape and actually make weight, that I had an opponent that was, legit. And this kid, he's fighting right now, and he's doing a good job of it. So
Not only is he legit,
I got to be serious about this.
the guy walks into the ring completely relaxed. It looks like he really enjoys fighting. So he's a guy who's been in many, many fights.
Now, how
It's
young
obvious.
is your opponent? Do you have any idea?
Well, he's considerably younger than me.
You're only as young as you feel. Only as young as you feel.
Exactly.
That's the problem. That's the
He's feeling
problem.
old
That's
right
right. No, I was proud of you.
It's a little chilly
Younger
outside.
guy.
It's okay. Tomorrow will be good.
I root for you anyway, but I got to root for the older guy always.
All right, but let's get back to the stick fighting tournament here, because this thing was really a big success in my opinion.
Right. This was unique in that we wanted to bring something out that nobody's really, to my knowledge, done in this area in, I don't know, maybe 20 years. I mean, it's just, we wanted something that was live, full contact stick fighting, not point fighting, full contact, round by round, combative competition. And we wanted to make it, safe enough to where we didn't get injuries, or anything serious. At the same time, it had to be intense and real, or people wouldn't find it interesting. So we sort of found a middle ground. It's a hybrid of, a lot of Filipino stick arts. Jay's been an instructor at his school. He's the one that showed me anything that I know. And then after Jay, I've worked with Bruce Albach and various other people that have had sticks. Andy and I have drilled many times. And we wanted to bring something fun out there, and so we came up with a 3 1-minute round format with some sticks that have a thin padding on them so that you don't actually break any bones.
Or maybe bruises.
No, you get bruises.
Oh, there was blood. I see blood.
Yeah. Jay was the first one to strike blood.
You can't take all the fun out of this.
Jay, did you know that?
I did see
I
blood.
got blood from the other.
He struck blood on the other guy. Jay didn't bleed.
Oh, Jay did strike blood.
Yeah.
Jay was the first one to strike blood.
No, the other guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it was
Tough guy, too.
I couldn't be more pleased by something, for the first shot at something that doesn't exist. I mean, if you invented a sport tomorrow and then you threw something out there, would people come? Would they have fun? And would the guys that came to compete have a good time? And I think we did real well. Everybody that showed up to compete showed some skills. It wasn't like people showed up completely clueless and looked like a caveman out there. We had people that they had techniques they were trying to take control with. They had some ideas of what they wanted to pull off. And everybody landed some of that. And I think it was exciting. There were some big surprises from the crowd. When the first fight went off, there was kind of a moment of hush, where everybody sort of said, "Holy shit, those guys just beat the fuck out of each other with sticks," And I don't think they were prepared for that, or the level of exhaustion that these guys.
Well, I don't think the crowd was prepared for.
You just can't believe how tiring that can be.
But it wasn't just stick fighting. I think it should be pointed out that, to me, it was the MMA of stick fighting.
It looked tough.
Because you could punch.
Well, right. We tried to make it as reality-based as we could. So punching, elbowing, kneeing, kicking, those were all allowed. They were secondary scoring criteria. Still, the primary criteria was stick striking, but it was allowed. Takedowns were allowed. It gave people a chance to bring a variety of skill sets into it. And the crowd had a blast. A lot of people with a lot of positive comments. I guarantee that anybody that showed up stayed for the event. And we sort of were at a venue where I think we stole a few people from the chicken and beer dance and the mouse race. Because as they went to the bathroom, they looked in and they're like, "There's guys stick fighting in that place." So it went real well. We're going to make some adjustments. I'm getting feedback right now from all the competitors, and we're going to change, rules where people have strong feelings because, we're flexible. We want to make something that's real exciting for the people to watch, but, I want people to be excited about coming to compete in it
Well, one of the things I think was really surprising for the crowd was how close they were to the action. There were many times that if you weren't paying attention, you were in danger. You had a body rolling your way, you had a stick flying out of somebody's hand, and it wasn't like an impaling sword coming their way or anything like that. But it'd be like being at a baseball game, and if you weren't paying attention when the pinch happened and you were sitting in the front rows, yeah, you could get hit in the head. So I think that was something that kind of woke the crowd up and really got them to pay close attention. You couldn't lose focus, because if you were going to lose focus and you were going to sit in the front row, that was a bad thing. You needed to move to the back.
I haven't seen any stick fighting for about, 12 or 15 years. I used to go see it in Virginia Beach and also North Carolina when I lived out there. I really wanted to be able to go. My son had just drove in from California. The Marine Corps for a day and a half.
Short.
He was there for a day and a half, and it ended up costing me the ability to go out there. But
Well, I'll tell you what, the venue had a great time with us. They loved our crowd. They liked the energy. Everybody was positive. We already talked to them. They want to lock in some more dates. So probably every couple months we'll probably do one.
would you consider putting one of them in with one of your MMA shows, maybe, as just a different match?
Some people have asked me about doing a demonstration of it at the show in May. It kind of depends on if we can fit it in the time slot, because we intend to have about 15 fights on this card,
Right.
and some of these are just matched pretty well. If nobody gets caught, these are wars, and so I need to kind of watch my time and make sure that we don't run too long.
You got James fighting that night on your card?
Yeah, James Walsh.
Yeah, he's
We
already
hope to.
fighting. 'Cause I give him
He
a
has an
rematch if
opponent
he'll do
right
it.
now, but I need to confirm this.
Well, if you do plan, I know your shows are bigger than mine and not as frequently. If you guys do another stick fighting, and I have a show coming up before that,
Take my chance.
you're more than welcome to come do a demonstration there to show the crowd what you're doing and try and get some of them to come out
Tell
there.
you what, we'll absolutely be interested in doing that.
Get them to come out to the show and see what you guys are doing.
Well, we ran those
because
commercials at your last show, and honestly, I got a few responses, but I think if they actually saw it live, it's going to make a
Exactly.
huge
And
difference.
If you
repetitively.
could show footage even, in
Well,
between.
we did footage at
We had some brief
Jim's.
footage, but probably not exactly the same as the
Of the
live.
actual
whatever.
competition,
Right.
do a little
No,
highlight
it was
reel.
nothing as exciting as the
Oh,
tournament.
you just can't really understand
That was
it until you
outside.
sit.
This was the guy.
So many people came up to me from the crowd at the tournament, and they said what they were most impressed with, that guys weren't just out there swinging. It was technique.
Right, that's what I
Whether
was
they were
happy
using
with,
the
too.
stick, kicking, throwing the guy, holding him at bay, hitting him with the stick while they're holding him at bay.
It was violent. It was
Yeah,
cool.
it was violent. It was cool.
Yeah,
You're getting all the way
It was really cool.
That was new.
Yeah, Carlitos Jones introduced the Superman punch to stick fight.
I've got a photograph of Carlitos jumping in the air with his feet like 4 feet off the air,
Yeah.
and a stick coming down on Jeff, and Jeff's got his stick right above his head. Right, so he's blocking it. It's a perfect block in Jeff's defense. But Carlitos is coming down like Superman.
It's tough, man.
Priceless.
You either block
Oh,
that
it
or
was
you don't.
fun. It was a
He
great
surprised me
photo.
with that. I thought I'd hit him to the body, thinking I'm doing okay, and all of a sudden, he hit me on the head. I'm like,
Now-
no, he was up there.
Carlitos' reach, I think.
Truthfully, the competitor that surprised me the most was Jeff Hickman.
Yeah,
He was
Jeff
great.
Hickman had a heck of a tournament.
I mean, this guy came out, and if you look at Jeff, I can't even guess his weight.
Over 350,
No,
330.
no. Jeff's lost weight. He's about 280 right now.
Get out of here.
Good
No,
guess.
Yeah, but he's only 5'6".
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
kidding.
yeah, he's not wasting away, but
Anyway.
he was over 3 bills for a while.
But the point about it is not necessarily his weight, is that you wouldn't have expected his cardio to be good, and I think it was. And he had great movement, and the thing that really surprised me was he was able to control the pace of the fight.
Yep.
I don't know how he did it. It was stunning. I watched the first two guys come out there, and their sticks just were flying like crazy. It was just, a whirlwind of stick movement. But when Jeff came out, everybody slowed down. Not because anything that they didn't want to fight fast with Jeff, because Jeff made them not fight
His
that way.
athleticism is very surprising. But I think a
He's
couple
always
other
been pretty
competitors
athletic.
that really surprised me was James Walsh when he fought Jeff. I don't know if you guys caught that fight, but James did fantastic. He did just about better than anybody else who Jeff fought that night. James kept it outside, moved around, used his speed to his advantage. And Jeff's a fast guy, but James did really well.
You got it hard, too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's not the
That's not the only guy who kicked really hard.
Nice.
Yeah, he kicked you a couple times.